welcome to our English news edition, coming to you from Canal, Algérie, to the headlines. The President of the Republic signs the self-entrepreneur law favoring the development of entrepreneurial initiative and free access of youth to self-employment. A flashback to the major achievements and reforms initiated by the President of the Republic after 3 years in office. Algeria reiterates its commitment to the international conventions related to child's rights and works relentlessly to implement the President's program meant to further promote this option. And the Algerian products are highly appreciated by foreign operators with partnership agreements in the offing. Good evening. Those were the major headlines. First of all, the President of the Republic, Abdul, signed the law related to self-entrepreneur recently adopted by the two chambers of Parliament. This law aims at organizing the new economic activities that have emerged with the knowledge and digital economies, which are not governed by any legal framework yet. This law enshrines the development of the spirit of entrepreneurship and facilitates the access of young people to the world of labor. It also aims at reducing the number of people without social security. The law on self-employment facilitates the export of certain services in view of the new notes issued by the Bank of Algeria, authorizing the transfer of all revenues of digital services export in foreign currency to the country. In the same context, a national register of self-employed entrepreneurs will be established in addition to the creation of a public company that will be in charge of keeping the national register of the self-entrepreneurs in order to control the activities governed by this law. Moreover, the President of the Republic signed the law supplementing the ordinance on the legal status of the civil service, enshrining the right to a leave for the creation of a company by employees or administrators. The Knowledge Economy, Startups and Medium-Sized Enterprises Minister Yassin Al-Mahdi Walid, who was the special guest of our previous bulletin, gave detailed information about this timely law, which came to fill the legal vacuum and open up new horizons for young entrepreneurs to have a better access to the labor market, to cope with the changes imposed by the new economies, and to ensure a better takeoff for our national economy. And 3 years have passed by since the election of the President of the Republic. This anniversary is an occasion to look back at the major and important reforms, achievements and decisions taken by the head of state through the implementation of his 55 commitments. The details with Melissa Kobash.
هذا اللي قارعين له بزاف.
كنا محتاجين، كنا معزولين، كنا فقراء، كنا ما كانش.
دوك الحمد لله حكمت المنصب ديالي كمهندسه.
الحمد لله اليوم رانا في مرحله زينه.
عام 9 سنة راه خير من الشيء اللي كان.
رانا الله ذو فتح حسن.
فيها متابعه والحمد لله ربي.
الحمد لله جاني عرض ووافقت عليه وربي وفقني وحاليا راني خدام عليه.
احنا اليوم رانا درنا شجره، درنا كل خير وراهنا غير نزيدوا نطوروا فيها ان شاء الله باذن الله.
الحمد لله تاني كنا في مزيريه كبيره.
كاينه اون فولونتي.
سيتويان سي الالفا اي لوميغا دو سو بي. من غيره ما كانش.
3 years have already passed since the election of President Tebboune, elections that took place in a context of change and marked by a health dictated by COVID-19 and severely impacted the international economy. Abdul Tebboune presented the new Algeria during his speech to the nation and reiterated his promise to fill the legitimacy gap and resolve the political and financial crisis. He also promised to give back people a voice and implement his principles by establishing democracy and the rule of law through his 55 commitments. The President of the Republic underlined that it wasn't only promises, but a national project based on a new method of governance, allowing the consolidation of Algeria's status at the international level. For the past 3 years, important reforms have been initiated in all sectors, starting with the state institutions. Alongside the reforms, important socio-economic achievements were also recorded, notably the increase in wages, including the upcoming one in 2023, and the unemployment allowance, putting citizens at the heart of the state's concerns. As for the measures in action plan, we can mention housing, food and water security, and other challenges such as speculation. The agricultural sector was marked by facilitations granted to farmers, allowing the harvest increase. The economic relaunch is considered as an important chapter in the year 2022, considering the investment law that addressed previous pitfalls and EDAM was on a track that took back its role in terms of exploitation of the state resources. In addition, the historical budget of the year 2023 amounting to $100 billion, making next year the year of economic takeoff. As for the 60th anniversary of Algeria's independence, it was celebrated in a context marked by stability under the protection of its army and people. The 3 years were also marked by the comeback of Algeria on the international scene with diplomatic achievements, namely the organization of the Arab Summit and the President of the Republic's initiative for reconciliating the Palestinian factions, alongside the establishment of peace and stability in Africa and the neighboring countries that granted him recognition by major international bodies. Algeria remains faithful to its principles of non-alignment and that of defense and solidarity with fair causes.
In other news, Prime Minister Eamon Bernard received on Monday at the government's palace Uthman Hassan, the State Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia, in charge of Islamic affairs and special envoy of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, now on a working visit to Algeria. Uthman Hassan is also the carrier of a message to the President of the Republic sent by the Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen. The meeting allowed the two parties to exchange points of view regarding bilateral cooperation and ways and means to further consolidate them. This meeting took place in the presence of the Minister of Religious Affairs and Endowments, Youssef Belmehdi. The Prime Minister also chaired the opening ceremony of the national conferences on the status of the child in Algeria, achievements and challenges. This took place in the presence of the President of the National People's Assembly, Brahim Boughali, the advisor to the President of the Republic in charge of national and international organizations and non-governmental organizations, Hamid Louinsaoussi, the national delegate for child protection, as well as the representative of UNICEF to Algeria. These two-day proceedings will deal with several important topics, namely family protection, health, and the child's quality of education. This event is jointly organized by the National Authority for the Protection and Promotion of Children and the National Economic, Social, and Environmental Council. Via these meetings, Algeria reiterates its respect for its international commitments to implement the program of the President of the Republic, who attaches a great importance to the promotion of children's rights. Let's now have a listen to Prime Minister Eamon Bernard while taking the floor during this event.
اختيار تاريخ انعقاد هذه الجلسات بالتزامن.
The holding of this event coincides with the ratification of Algeria of the International Convention related to a child's right. It has a strategic importance, denoting Algeria's respect for its international commitments. The President of the Republic attaches a great importance to promoting the child's rights due to his strong belief that investing in child determines the future society. Algeria adheres to all international conventions, works relentlessly to protect child and promote his rights.
In the context, the Textile International Fair for Clothing, Leather and Equipment Textile Expo is back with its 5th edition at the International Conference Center in Algiers. This event, being held until the 21st of the current month, is marked by international participation of nearly 100 exhibitors from several countries. The industry minister, for his part, called for intensifying cooperation and partnerships in the textile textile and leather sector in view of creating a strong local industry. He went on to say that this sector is one of the main manufacturing industries and is able to ensure the economic diversification. Zaghdar added the new investment law grants the same measures for both local and foreign investors. Still in the realm of fairs, with this field report by our dynamic reporter Ines Kilo, who was on the spot to give us an idea about the foreign operators' views concerning the Algerian products. Let's discover more with her.
The Algerian product and the policy of economic reforms meant to encourage the national production have made this exhibition an opportunity for foreigners and economic operators to look for opportunities and ways of cooperation and witness with their own eyes the quality of the Algerian production. I was really impressed by this Algerian production. Algeria showed its industrial and technological capacities in the military sector and everything that concerns digital and house appliances. It is the military sector that really impressed me the most.
We are looking forward to deepening our bilateral relation with Algeria, between Ghana and Algeria. Yes, we are looking at creating a platform like PJCC, Permanent Joint Cooperation Programs, to collaborate with Algeria. Government of Algeria is doing great. They are doing great, looking at the equipment from military to other equipment, stores, refrigerators. Government of Algeria is doing great.
After their visit to several stands, they had a very positive view of the national products, which witnessed a great development and are now suitable for exporting.
I'm very well aware of Algeria's ambition to modernize and diversify its economy, and yes, to develop industry in other sectors than oil and gas is of course crucial. The Embassy of Sweden is engaging with Algerian institutions in trying to find out more about what Algeria has to offer and see if there can be commercial links established between more actors in Algeria and Sweden. Algerian industry is active in various sectors, and that's of course a good basis when you want to diversify economy.
Non, c'est une foire vraiment très intéressante. Vraiment, il y a beaucoup de monde.
It's a very interesting fair. I am here to take a look at the stand devoted to tires manufacturing. They are locally produced and denote a successful story between Algeria and Finland. It's a great Algerian-Finnish cooperation.
Finlande ou Algérie. Donc les pneus qui sont fabriqués par Tire, c'est une coopération, une vraie coopération finlando-algérienne.
J'ai l'occasion ce matin de visiter cette nouvelle édition de la foire algérienne de la production. Je suis assez impressionné par le nombre.
I had the opportunity to visit this new edition of the Algerian Production Fair. I'm quite impressed with the large number of exhibitors, reaching nearly 700. I had the opportunity to visit this new edition of the Algerian Production Fair. I'm quite impressed with the large number of exhibitors, reaching nearly 700. As for the products, I am fascinated by the immense progress of the production quality that meets international standards. Today, our goal is to identify operators with whom we can build partnerships to develop new reforms in the near future.
Cette nouvelle relation partenariale pour développer des nouvelles formes de production.
And coinciding with Algeria's efforts to attract foreign investors, the latest figures confirm the increase of the volume of national non-hydrocarbon exports for the year 2022.
منتوجات تصدر ل4 قارات ليس فقط إفريقيا.
These products are exported to 4 continents, not only to Africa, but also to the United States of America, Canada, South America, and other continents like Asia and Europe. Our products are highly appreciated in all these countries due to their good quality in line with the international standards. We have, moreover, exported $6 billion worth of non-hydrocarbon goods in 2022, pursuant to the President's guidelines in this regard.
وعلامة فارقة بأن السياسة التي انتهجت حققت كل أهداف المسطرة.
The Algerian national production meets the needs of the national market, and it is time to export and conquer foreign markets, notably outside the hydrocarbon sector.
Within the framework of export promotion and with the aim of providing a favorable environment for economic operators, the Algiers Customs Services have adopted new measures meant to remove all the previous bureaucratic obstacles and open up to new horizons for exporters. Najah Tayyar has more to say.
It is in this customs clearance room where the freight forwarders come to carry out customs formalities for import and export operations. With the new facilitations and the digitization of the sector, only a few moments will be needed to get this step done. We receive the goods customs clearance at the level of this room to start the other procedures thanks to the facilitations of the customs group and the managers. In addition to that, new mechanisms have been put in place by the customs officers, namely the remote customs clearance of the new blue circuit to speed up the import and export of the agricultural products. These mechanisms aim to encourage exports out of hydrocarbon sector and to diversify the markets. This new circuit will facilitate customs clearance following the example of the green circuit which already exists, but it will be smoother. There is also the facilitation of the goods verification which can be done from the province of the economic operator. All these novelties with the mission of facilitating trade and exports.
In a different context and as part of the cooperation with the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, the Ministry of National Defense organized the second edition of this regional seminar under the motto, Taking Analysis Samples in a Highly Polluted Environment. This seminar, which witnessed the participation of several national and foreign experts, is being held until the 22nd of December at the National Center of the Army and the National Institutes of Forensics and Criminology of the National Gendarmerie in the 1st Military Region. A visit to Ouargla province by several descendants of Sheikh Abdul Kareem Marili, accompanied by researchers and specialists who participated in the international conference dedicated to this prominent scholar. They visited the cultural, religious and touristic sites of the region. More details with Najah Tayyar.
After a stopover in Lghouat, the delegation gathering the descendants of the Imam Mohammed bin Abdul Kareem al-Marili, university professors and researchers specialized in different Islamic studies, went to Ouargla in order to visit one of the places this great scholar lived in. I am very happy to be here. We thank the President of the Republic for the efforts made to bring us together and allow us to visit these places. The Imam al-Marili is a prominent figure who sought to bring Muslims together in Africa and the Arab world. During their visit, the members of the delegation had the opportunity to visit places of worship and mosques near the ancient Qasr of Ouargla. We are on our 4th visit since our arrival in Algeria. We had the opportunity to discover some religious tourist monuments in the region. We come to attend the international conference on the Imam al-Marili. We were very well received and taken care of since our arrival. Placed under the slogan, the Imam Mohammed Abdul Kareem al-Marili governs unity and stability of African societies. The international conference was an occasion to consolidate the African unity based on the spiritual foundations of the Tijaniya order.
And with that, we come to the end of our today's program. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.